Hey guys, Dave here. It's finally time to get back to doing a full review. I was going to make it a subscriber's choice, and I already filmed the subscriber's choice, but I'm going to post that still, but one of the choices I decided just to go ahead and review to get back in it, because I've been kind of lazy and not particularly interested in doing it for some reason, so I thought I would give it a shot and see how it goes, and the subscriber's choice will be up soon. So, the fragrance that I chose to review is one that's not talked about much. I don't think I've ever seen a review on it. The women's version has been mentioned by a couple people, but it has not been reviewed, that I could find at least. And this is from the house of Maison Kurkdjian. This is Lumiere Noire pour Homme, the men's version. Bottle and box. Box is kind of interesting. It's got its own little sleeve inside of it that pulls out, and that's where the bottle is. There is only one bottle size, but it came out in 2009. The perfumer is Kurkdjian. You probably know who he is, at least if you've ever heard of a fragrance called Homme. As far as notes, I don't know the specific note breakdown, but I know the notes. There's not a lot of them. There is spiced rose, cumin, cinnamon, patchouli, and mugwort, which is also known as artemisia. As I said, there's only one bottle size. It's this one, the 70 ml 2.4 ounce. It'll run you $155. So it's not a super cheap fragrance, but it's not awfully expensive either. As far as classification, I would call this a rose oriental. To me, it is spicy, very smooth, and sexy as hell rose. Now, right on the top, I get a blast of rose and cumin. This fragrance is quite simple, but man, is it ever done well. I usually am not a fan of cumin, and I'm not sure if it's the cumin that's giving me this vibe, but I get a slightly toasted or roasted type of vibe. Not like the smell of roasted or toasted pistachios or chestnuts, but that kind of toasty vibe, if you guys know what I'm talking about. The cinnamon is definitely there in the beginning as well as the patchouli. The scent does not develop too much on my skin. It's not quite as, it just gets a little bit less loud. It's not really a particularly loud scent to begin with though. It doesn't change much until the dry down. But I get this beautiful rose, cumin, patchouli vibe with the absolute perfect amount of cinnamon. The cumin is not particularly dirty or sweaty and much more subdued, and the patchouli is not really dirty either. It has a slightly earthy vibe, but not really earthy. It's more clean. The scent is definitely masculine, but I would say that it could pass as unisex. Now, the dry down on my skin is amazing and very, very long lasting. I still get that gorgeous full-bodied rose with the spice from the cumin and the cinnamon. The patchouli is definitely there as well. I'm guessing I probably get the artemisia, but I don't really know what it smells like, to be honest with you, so I'm just going to leave that out of the equation. The rose is very high quality, as is everything within this fragrance. It is difficult to pick apart where the patchouli, the cumin, and the rose begin and end. All the notes work together as one cohesive unit to produce just an amazing smell that isn't particularly complex, but is just fantastically done. This is what I wanted out of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, Amouage Lyric Man, and Bond No. 9's Success is a Job in New York, as well as West Side. I would say that this fragrance is best for formal events and dates. I do rock it to work and bars as well, but formal settings is really where it shines. As far as what women say, this is actually one of the most universally liked scents that I have worn. I have not met very many ladies that did not find it sexy. Some even say intoxicating. Now, as far as age, this is a pretty mature fragrance to me. I'm going to say at least 25 and up. I'm not saying you can't rock it if you're under 25, but you may not fully appreciate it. Now, as far as number of sprays, 3 absolute max. I generally go 1 on the chest and 1 on the back of the neck. If I'm adventurous, I'll do 1 on the front of the neck as well, but I don't usually do that. Now, as far as who would like this, I think that if you like slightly spicy scents, rose, cinnamon, or well-blended simple fragrances, then definitely check this out. This is the best cinnamon note that I have come across. Now, why would you not like it? Obviously, if you dislike rose, although even if you do, you may enjoy this one. If you don't like cinnamon, you don't like patchouli, and you don't like cumin, I would say even if you don't like cumin, you probably would still like it. I'm not a big fan of cumin, and I still like it a lot. As far as dominant notes, it's kind of tough. I'm just going to say everything is dominant in it because that's kind of what I get. It's one cohesive thing. There's not one note that's super strong. Now, as far as bottles, if you like Tom Ford Noir, Homage Lyric Man, Bond Number 9 Success is a Job in New York, as well as Bond Number 9 West Side, then I would definitely give this one a try. I'll also throw Rose 31 in there, but they're very different scents, but both have a rose theme, but very, very different to me. As far as what I think of when I wear this, it's kind of a difficult smell to describe. But think of taking a rose, dashing some cinnamon on top of it, rubbing it in the dirt a little bit, and then take some cumin seeds, toast them, and then sprinkle them on top, and that is what I get from this fragrance. Now, I'm going to actually change my ratings up a little bit. Instead of doing the numbers, which I was originally intending to, the way I was thinking of it is doing it like letter grades, 80% is a B, or 8 is a B, and the 8 range is a B, 9 range is an A, that type of thing, and it was kind of just getting confusing, so I figured why not just go to the letter grade, because it makes more sense. So I'm going to be doing the letters now. Now, as far as ratings, with that letter scale in mind, overall smell, I'm going to give it an A. I absolutely adore this fragrance, and the smell is just divine to me. It is one of the sexiest fragrances I own, and currently my go-to for weddings, formal events, and dates. Now, as far as projection, it's going to get a B. It does its job well, but it's not a beast. It's not particularly close to the skin, and it will project, but it's not something that's going to leap across the room and garner attention. But it is above average. As far as longevity, it gets an A-. It can be spotty at times, thus the minus, but I have gotten up to 36 hours with this fragrance. I always get at least 12, but sometimes it can kind of disappear in the evening, and then you wake up the next day and boom, it's there and it smells beautiful, which is my main complaint with the longevity. It lasts long, but it can kind of disappear and then reappear very strongly. As far as uniqueness, it gets a B+. There are other scents that are similar to it, but to me that cinnamon note makes it fairly unique, and it is the most masculine of the fragrances I mentioned that are similar to this fragrance. Now, as far as versatility, it gets a C-. It's not particularly good versatility. I think it's too mature and smooth to be used casually, but that doesn't mean I don't try it. It's best, as I said, it's best for dates and formal events. Even if you work in something like high class as a lawyer or something, I can see you wearing it there as well. But it's not a particularly versatile fragrance. Now, as far as my overall rating, I'm going to give it an A-. Overall, this is a gem to me from Francis Kurkdjian, and it's one of my current favorite fragrances, thus I'm making it my first review back because I've been wearing it so much and I've got it down. I fell in love with this one instantly when I sampled it. If I remember right, I bought it the same day I tried it, which doesn't happen to me much, that I'm wowed enough to purchase it without fully testing it 3 or 4 times. Overall, this fragrance is definitely worth a try for me, especially if you are a rose lover or like fragrances like this. I would definitely check it out then. It is definitely simple, not super complex, but man, is it well done. So that is my first review back, guys, on Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Lumiere Noire pour Homme. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.